You can listen to the Canadian Gothic early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Include it with Prime.
They gave me a stunting ticket, told me if I dance again, I'm going to be arrested or given another ticket. If I sing again, I'm going to be arrested or given another ticket.
When it showed up, it wasn't like the coat in the photo and was 4 sizes too small.
It was nothing like the jacket that was advertised. I did do some measurements. They were off by about 14 inches.
You know, they dropped off 4 busloads of protesters and were very vulgar language, using the F word every 10 seconds in front of little kids. And then the best of all, they ate the hamburgers and ate the ice cream while they were protesting.
You are listening to Keep Canada Weird.
Hey, at Samaritan Airport. We're back again for yet another weekly review of all the weird and interesting Canadian news stories that played out in this great nation of Canada. We're going to keep Canada weird tonight, but I want to start by giving a special shout out to everyone in Indiana, specifically places like Gary, Hammond, Maryville, and Michigan City. Any ideas why?
Oh, it couldn't possibly have anything to do with their area code.
This is our 219th episode, and 219 is the area code for those sections of Indiana. I'm sure we have a listener down those ways, so special shout out to you. Before we get into the weird news, though, anything you want to say to the good people of Indiana or anywhere else?
I just want to apologize to them for the numbers. That's all.
I kept it brief. We're going to get into much more exciting things than the area code to Indiana. Anything new with you? Anything we need to clear off your mind before we get into the weird news?
Well, I should mention, every blue moon on this show, I present an improv show where listeners can get tickets to if they're in the Cape Breton, Nova Scotia area. So this summer, we're actually in July 10th. Tickets went on sale for our next improv show. And if anybody's around the area, it's going to be at the Island Folk Cider House in downtown Sydney. And they can go on Eventbrite, search Going On Improv at, July 10th. It's a Friday night.
What I'll do, they don't even have to go on Eventbrite or whatever it is you said. I'll just put a link in the episode's description for where you can get tickets to the improv show on, you said July 10th, and this is in Cape Breton.
That's
the
right.
Main
It's
streets
in
of Cape
Sydney,
Breton.
Nova Scotia, at the Island Folk Cider House at 7 p.m. Tickets are $20 each.
Okay.
And it's a whole night of cider and improv.
If you could plug your improv nights, I should be able to celebrate interesting things about the number of the episode. I don't want to debate it with you.
No, I won't debate it, but I will just say this, that I only plug an improv show once every 4 or 5 months at the most.
Okay, it's a good point. It's a very good point.
Yeah. It's not rapid fire every week, just completely pelting us with 1s and 2s and 3s.
Let's get into a segment that we open the show with every week, and it's a fan favorite, and it's one we really leveled up thanks to our listener Blair last week, who gave us a hard kick in the arse about the way we've been handling special drinks. And I'll tell you, I came packing heat this week. I was at Dollar Tree. Is that... that's probably not a good start to a special drink, because people hear like, Dollar Tree, what did you buy? Like some cheap crap? I would say no. I found something amazing at Dollar Tree. It's called a Domingo Cooler. Flavor is Tropical Splash, and these are non-alcoholic wine beverages. I wanted to try something interesting. It was only $2, and it said tropical on it. It's 0 sugar.
Yeah.
It can't be that bad. Let me try to take a drink.
You love the tropics.
Whoa, that was good.
Ooh, it's a tight seal.
I will say I don't drink wine, so this could be...
disgusting.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. It tastes nothing like wine. I don't know why they don't just call it like a tropical splash spritzer. If anyone goes to Dollar Tree and they see something called the Domingo Cooler, I give it the Keep Canada Weird seal of approval. What do you got, Aaron?
Well, before we move on to my special drink, dare I ask the sugar content in this beverage you have?
1 gram.
Oh, that's really good.
In the whole can, and it's sweet as a muffin, so...
Muffins are sweet.
A blueberry muffin.
Yeah. They're sweet in many ways. I have a special drink tonight. It's a Snapple Zero.
Ooh.
This is a kiwi strawberry flavor Snapple, 0 sugar.
This is interesting. This will be the first time an adult just drank a Snapple in quite a while.
Oh, it smells really good. I'm going to take a sip right now.
Okay, we're on the edge of our seats.
Oh, it's so smooth.
I like
Yeah,
that. So,
it's
out of
amazing.
10, is it a 7, I
I give
guess?
it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, good. So we've both unpacked our special drinks. I'm going to pass the mic over to some listeners for what will probably be our most chaotic listener contributed special drinks. We're going to hear from Maya and Louie.
Hi, I'm Maya, and this is Louie. I'm 7, and Louie is 5. We're from West Kelowna, BC, Canada. We are calling him for a special drink. Here, listen to us crack it. Hey, I'm gonna taste it. Oh, it's foaming. Oh no, it's foaming. Let me taste. It's cherry-like and very fizzy. It's sparkling pop water, all natural, cherry soda flavor. Mmm. Mmm.
That was good.
Oh, yeah. That
Little
was
chaotic?
No, I thought it was right on the nose. I thought they did an excellent job.
Yeah,
And
for two siblings to collab like that, they get along well. Because I'll tell you, my boys or me and my brother would have been in fisticuffs about 30 seconds into that, but they did pretty good.
no, I thought they did really good. And I think potentially when you and I retire from Keep Canada Weird, it's good to know that there's two siblings out there that are really ready to take over the show.
Yeah, and they do good in the heat of the moment when things go wrong. I don't know if you caught what happened, but it sounds like when they opened up the can of whatever it was they were drinking, I don't know if they really said what they were getting. I know it was cherry flavored, but when they cracked it open, I heard little Louis, who was 4 or 5, he didn't seem too confident on the right answer there. But when it cracked open, I heard Louis kind of panic. It's foaming! It's foaming!
It's foaming. Run! We botched it.
If anyone out there wants to crack open a special drink at the beginning of the show, go to thecanadiangothic.com/contact. Use the voice recorder, and we'd love to feature you or your children in some future episodes. But no more time for special drinks tonight. We got to get into an update segment. Before we get into this week's story, there's a story that we covered last week that had a lot of listeners talking. We had quite a bit of feedback related to the story of the man who found the Black Widow spider in his grapes, didn't know what to do, and called his mother, who had the most elaborate plan on how to deal with it. Do you remember what she did?
Yeah, she covered it, on a plate with another container and put it in the freezer and froze it to death.
She also drove across the city. She covered it with the plate, got in her car, drove to her house.
She'd duct taped up the container too, so that there was no escape for the Black Widow.
Because not only did her son not know how to handle a spider, he also seemingly didn't have a freezer capable of freezing the Black Widow. She suggested in that clip we heard last week in episode 218, she suggested she did that for humane reasons. We have a listener named Ellie. She's one of our regular correspondents. She has some questions about that story and why that mother did what she did.
Hey, Jordan and Aaron. This is your North Shore correspondent, Ellie. I was just really hoping that a spider expert could weigh in on the Black Widow story, because I kind of don't understand how, freezing it to death, which to me sounds like a long, drawn-out process, is more humane than just thwapping it real hard with a shoe and killing it instantly. So I guess this message is more for the Keep Canada Weird audience than it is for you two. But unless you're secretly spider experts, but you kind of don't sound like it in this instance. Sorry.
Excuse me?
How dare you? Was it that obvious?
Well, I don't know. I mean, my suggestion was to call the authorities and not his mother. But
yeah, and you had homework to do on Keep Canada Weird. You were going to contact a family member of yours who's an authority. Did you get that done?
No, I didn't. Move on.
Don't worry, Aaron, and don't worry, Ellie. You wanted experts. We got experts because we got several voicemails from people who know a lot more about spiders than any of us do. Let's go to Jay from Delaware. He's actually a bit of a spider expert, so he can maybe answer Ellie's question.
Good morning, Jordan and Aaron. My name is Jay. I'm calling from the state of Delaware in the United States. Calling in reference to the story about the guy who found the Black Widow in his grapes. I'm glad that Aaron said something about why did this guy need to contact his mom about how to get rid of a spider. as somebody who keeps several venomous species of tarantula, of which all are venomous, but I would not freak out to that extent. Now, granted, I'm used to handling some of them. This seemed like a bit of an extreme way to go. I mean, I personally wouldn't kill any of them, but he could have just, I don't know, stepped on it or something. It seemed a little crazy to me.
So Jay, who I will say is the Keep Canada Weird spider expert, he didn't seem to have much of a problem with just stomping the thing out by the sounds of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I would agree that would be more humane than freezing it to death.
Yeah, I don't think freezing would be painful for a spider, though. I have a feeling that it would just probably kind of go to sleep and pass away,
yeah.
But it would definitely be more drawn out than whack.
It would be more drawn out, yeah, for sure. But I don't know. We're not. Again, we were labeled not experts in this by several listeners apparently, and we'll have to wear that badge as non-spider experts. So we can't really say, you and I.
Okay, you're right. So let's then maybe go across the world. Let's go to Brazil. We have a listener named Monique, and I think she knows how to handle it because I guess they have black widows in Brazil.
Hello there, Aaron and Jordan. This is Monique from Brazil. And I decided to send this voice message after listening to episode 218 and realizing that you guys might benefit from some Brazilian advice on dealing with unwanted critters, like the black widow spiders. We have a very efficient way of dealing with those here in Brazil. It's a product called Havaianas. In case you haven't heard of it, it's spelled Havaianas. Look it up and hope this helps.
Are you familiar with Havaianas?
No, my special drink tonight is a Snapple Zero. So, no.
Havaianas, when I got that voicemail, I was almost like, I'm not going to use this. It's probably just like some bug spray they have in Brazil or something, and we probably can't even get it down here. And I kept Googling Havaianas, and I even played the voicemail back to make sure I was spelling it correctly. Every time I was Googling it, it was leading me to just random shoes. And then I realized her joke went way over my head. And Havaianas is it's a brand of what I would call flip-flops in Brazil that are so popular that it's basically like Kleenex here. When you say Havaianas, it just means, again, what we would see as flip-flops. So I think reading between the lines, Monique would smack the crap out of a black widow if it came in her way.
Yeah. I'm still on the side of calling the authorities because it's an exotic, venomous spider that shouldn't be over here. And potentially being able to save the spider's life, I think, is the way to go by calling the authorities, containing and trapping the spider, and handing it over to people that might be able to effectively deal with it. And then maybe they just give it the Havaianas or whatever it's called. I don't know, but
yeah. It's just it's kind of a shame because we've given you a platform here, Handsome Aaron Airport, and you had an opportunity to educate so many people that could possibly come into contact with black widows, and possibly you could have made it a lot easier for them to contact authorities because you have a family member who's in authority, but you didn't make that call. So if there's any spiders in Canada on grapes that get squished this week, there's blood on your hands. Yeah,
really. Well, I'm an ally. I catch and release. I ask me how many wasps I caught and released from my apartment this year.
How many?
This season, in terms of since it got warm.
Two of the last 2 months, probably. How many?
5.
Jeez. You may want to talk to your landlord or something, or get an exterminator. I haven't had a wasp in my house in years.
Well, it usually happens at the start of the season. And when they start getting active and they're kind of flying around the houses and everything, and they make their way into the bathroom vents.
Oh, okay. Then, I can see how that could happen.
Yeah. So that usually I'll get a couple at the start of the season. And I've gotten so comfortable with wasps now that it used to be such a big deal. Like when I was a kid, and even 5-10 years ago, if there was a wasp in the house, it was just suiting up as much armor as I can find, as many layers as possible, And then I ended up taking a broom and smashing it. But now I've gotten so good at the catch and release and I've gotten so comfortable around them that they don't bother me anymore.
Okay.
So now I see them, I just pick up my Tupperware container and I clunk and I slide the paper underneath it out the door, and it's easy.
Like a ninja.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anyway, there's a lot of people listening who hate the show and listen just because they like to complain about us taking too long to get into the weird news stories. So let's take our first break and get into it. When we get back from our first break, we're going to unpack a duo of stories that include bizarre legal situations. When I looked at the weird Canadian news from the past week, there's some interesting court cases that may be on the horizon. After this short break, we'll get into two of the best of them. Handsome Aaron Airport, this may be the story of the night, and we're starting off with it. We're starting strong here. For years, drivers in Sherwood Park, Alberta could count on seeing 21-year-old Caden Skelton dancing on the sidewalk of a busy intersection. But after some complaints and a bit of safety concerns, the RCMP have put an end to his good time. This is the story of Alberta's dancing man getting told to sit one out. Here it comes.
If you've driven in Sherwood Park, this street corner probably looks a little empty. That's because it's missing its dancing man. The dancer under that helmet is 21-year-old Caden Skelton. He's been stationed at the corner of Baseline Road and Sherwood Drive for a couple years. Skelton took to dancing on the street after he suffered a brain injury.
It's the main roadway here in Sherwood Park. The most amount of people drive around here, so I could impact the most amount of lives.
But Skelton's no longer moving his feet after receiving $1,500 worth of tickets from Strathcona County RCMP on Monday.
They gave me a stunting ticket, told me if I dance again, I'm going to be arrested or given another ticket. If I sing again, I'm going to be arrested or given another ticket.
Strathcona County RCMP tell Global News they received multiple complaints regarding dancing at a busy intersection. They say Mounties talked with him, expressing safety concerns, and requested he move to a safer location. When that didn't happen, police say it resulted in enforcement action.
They're not giving tickets to anyone else doing what I'm doing, or a different form of what I'm doing, but they're only giving it to me.
Skelton dances in front of Sherwood Park restaurant Sunny Side Up, and they're disappointed their dancing egg will be missing.
They love him. He comes, like people come in, they're like, we came in because of this guy, because he's making us smile.
Although they may be a little biased, his grandma and friends will also miss him dancing on the corner.
Hearing stories of how he's been really bringing joy to people, that it just really warmed my heart.
It brings joy to our lives, brings happiness, seeing someone expressing themselves in that way.
Skelton hopes he can resolve this situation with RCMP and get back to moving his feet.
They're just like, humdrum day, you know, got nothing better to do. Oh, look, there's a guy dancing right there. Yeah.
I'm a bit conflicted about this character.
Oh, really?
I like that it makes him happy, but I don't know if he's impacting people maybe the way he and his supporters think he is. I don't know if seeing like a guy dancing at a busy intersection is going to change my day.
Wow. I wasn't expecting this reaction from you, to be honest. Normally, like I would say if people were to bet, post this story, what do you predict that Jordan's opinion is going to be versus Aaron's opinion? Mm-hmm. And I would think that people would assume that I would take the opinion that you're taking right now and poo-poo on this guy. But
my thing is, if it was a different intersection, I think I'd feel better. Looking at the news clip in these videos, it is like a major intersection. A lot of cars going through there. And I noticed what they charged him with. His ticket was for stunting, which usually when you hear stunting, in Nova Scotia at least, that's like driving like way over the speed limit, or like doing donuts and stuff like that. But when I looked up stunting in Alberta, under the Highway Traffic Act, stunting refers to the performance or engagement in any activity on or near a roadway that is likely to distract, startle, or interfere with road users. So basically what his ticket is you're distracting people on a major intersection, And I could see how that could be a problem. Someone's driving by and they see this guy with a helmet on dancing like a maniac on the side of the road. That may catch their attention. And then, boom, two cars collide and someone's dead.
Yeah, I can understand the issue with safety for sure. But the way I look at it is I feel bad for the guy because I feel like that restaurant was taking advantage of him and putting those really warm egg costumes on him. Like those.
Did he have egg costumes?
There was one. Yeah, there was one clip. They're like, "Oh, there's our dancing egg" or whatever, and like they had like those cheap Halloween costumes, like that you just pull over your head, and it was just like a fried egg or whatever.
Okay, I thought that was just like a pet name for him. I'm like, that's a weird thing to call him because all the pictures I saw, he had an Edmonton Oilers jersey on, or just like a random hoodie or something.
Yeah.
And often this helmet, the guy's story, I think it came out in that news clip, is that he had a head injury or a brain injury from like a scooter accident. And somehow this is a part of his recovery in a way that he deals with his like brain injury, which, good on him for finding a way to deal with that. And good on him for finding a way to make himself happy and keep Canada weird. I just think maybe there's a better way to go about it.
Right. I mean, I like what he's doing. I agree with you that it's problematic where he's doing it at because that is a busy intersection. But I would like to see him dance somewhere else that has less issues with traffic. And because I do like the dancing. And when I saw someone dancing today on the street, went to Swiss Chalet for lunch, and across the street, there was this woman just walking down the street, just dancing by herself.
Okay. Did it bring you joy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my coworker who I was with kind of had a similar opinion to you. Like, what is this person? What are they doing? And I'm like, imagine how freeing that is when you reach a point in your life that you're like, I'm just going to dance and people can watch or they don't have to or whatever, but I want to do it because it makes me happy. And I'm freeing myself of the shackles of society and I'm just going to dance.
I just wonder how free is too free though. Like if you're willing to just, I know where Swiss Chalet is in Sydney. And if you're dancing down that street, I suggest I would be considering like a wellness check or something at that point, especially if they're alone.
But why
worried about this person?
I mean, maybe, maybe you're right. But why does dancing by yourself, why should that initiate a wellness check from authorities? Like what?
I don't know.
Dancing is great exercise. It's fun. It's joyous. It's the kind of thing that should be celebrated and people should be doing it more. If you're listening to music in your headphones and you're walking down the street, why it doesn't make sense to not dance, right?
Yeah, it is a complicated situation that we're in here.
I don't think it is complicated. I think society has pushed us to conforming to the point where we've forgotten how to feel true joy.
Okay. I think that I agree with. And I'll tease our second segment, where our second patch of stories that we'll get into a little later tonight is going to be a whole collection of stories that showcase how awful the world and society has gotten. So maybe we should put a pin into this story and my thoughts on this guy dancing and come back to it later. But I will say, for people who haven't seen his videos, this guy isn't a great dancer. And I think maybe that's a part of what I do like about it. Like, he looks like he doesn't really know how to dance, but he definitely looks like he's enjoying dancing. See, I would call what he's doing boogieing.
Before we move on, I think he's a really good dancer. I like his dancing. Well, I'm surprised about how complete polar opposites we are on this story.
I didn't find his dancing great. He kind of did just this kind of like standing in place twisting and but he just really looked like he was enjoying it. And again, everyone driving by, they can't hear what he's listening to. So it looks like a man who's being stung and attacked by bees to me.
No. I think he's doing, and I'm not, I'm in my mid 40s, so I can't say for sure, but do they call it popping and locking? Is that what?
Okay. I have no idea, but maybe that would imply
I just don't think
Be
you're
right, I
hip
think.
to the dance that he's doing. That's what I think. That's why I think you're old man Bonaparte moment here. And you're, what's that? That's that young fella doing out there. It's dancing to rock and roll. The devil's music. That's the devil's dance.
Do you think the RCMP or whatever the police force is handling this is going to give this guy a break, or is this the end of it? I guess, is this going to end up in court? He's already got one ticket.
Oh, if this goes to court, it's going to be a movie. I mean, this guy's, it's like the movie Footloose. It's the sequel to Footloose. Dancing is now illegal.
It's the
in
Alberta.
In Alberta, this is yeah. So.
Of all places to ban dancing, they can have their plastic straws back, but you can't dance there.
Yeah, you can get sprayed by bear spray, but you can't dance here.
Let's move on to our second story that involves a bizarre legal dispute. And this one I think is going to hit very close to home to you, Handsome Aaron Airport, and to every other cat owner out there, because this is a bit of a cautionary tale concerning a situation that's probably very familiar, but in this case goes way, way further than I ever would have imagined these stories could go. A North Vancouver family is in the middle of an unlikely custody dispute. Their cat Simba went missing, and by the time they tracked him down, he'd already been found, brought to the SPCA, and adopted by another family. Here's the story of Simba the cat's custody dispute in British Columbia.
I love you. For this North Vancouver family, the search for their missing cat has become a heartbreaking fight to bring him home.
I've had Simba since the day he was born.
The family says 6.5-year-old Simba went missing while they were away earlier this month. Later learning Simba had been found injured, taken to Norgate Animal Hospital, then to the West Vancouver SPCA before being adopted by another family.
They're more than just animals. They become family. And
the SPCA says Simba arrived without any permanent identification. Under provincial law, the organization says stray animals must be held for at least 4 days before they can be adopted.
we've provided a good, loving home for this animal for 6.5 years. And we feel like we still have the right to do that. And the SPCA's position is that they followed protocol.
The organization says it kept Simba longer than required, but the family didn't contact the organization until after the adoption was finalized.
Once an animal has been adopted, not only do the previous owners, but also the BCSPCA loses all legal right or ownership to that animal.
The SPCA says Simba's situation is devastating but not unique.
And a concerning part of that is it can be avoided through permanent identification. So having a tattoo on your animal, having a microchip.
The Sinclairs say they're not blaming the family who adopted Simba. They're just hoping the new owners learn he already had a family.
I just want those people to know that cat had a home and that there's people at that home that love him and miss him.
There's no anger or animosity towards you. I just want my Simba home.
While the SPCA says they cannot reverse Simba's adoption, the Sinclairs say they haven't given up hope.
Man, that is heartbreaking. I'll let you lead this one because this is probably, like I said, this is probably hitting pretty close to home for you.
Yeah, I have a lot of complicated feelings about this story. And because, I mean, I do believe that the SPCA followed their protocol and did what they were supposed to do.
And those rules are going to be there for a reason that the SPCA are following.
Yeah, exactly. If they held on to every animal until eventually, possibly, their previous owners showed up, then they'd be wall to wall with animals and not be able to take any other new animals in. So it would become very problematic in that way. And I guess the SPCA is not allowed to reach out to the new owners and say, hey, just to let you know, the old owners showed up and they had, we just want to let you know if you wanted to give the cat to them, that option is there, but you don't have to. But I imagine they're probably not supposed to do that, and it probably crosses a professional line of some kind.
That's what I would think is like, do they want to get in the middle of that? Like I think the SPCA should have double checked their work and make sure everything was done appropriately. And once it was done, do they want to mediate this kind of dispute?
Right. But with them
I,
being on the news now, I'm sure the new owners of this cat are going to hear about this and then decide for themselves what they want to do. But
yeah,
I want to get to the part that I find complicated, and I want to know what you think about this. Having watched the video of these previous owners and pleading their case there, do you find them sketchy?
maybe a little bit. I did question some stuff about them. For one, I think their story didn't like their story wasn't clear as far as what happened. Like, how did the cat manage to get away this long before anyone noticed? Where were they that they didn't call the like if your cat was missing for like if poor Ken Tiggs got out for 2 days, I'm sure you'd make a call to the SPCA and you'd be doing what you had to do. Why did it take this long for them to realize that all this stuff had happened? In the article, it doesn't explain the whole thing. Like the cat was found by someone and was injured. It was brought to like a vet who actually like did some work to like fix the cat. From there, it went to the SPCA and it stayed at the SPCA for a certain amount of time until that deadline was met, and then it got adopted out. And this isn't like a kitten or anything, so it probably had to sit there a little while before someone adopted the full-grown cat. So I would like to know a really clear timeline that shows me why these people weren't negligent in taking care of that cat. But at the same time, the emotion was real in their voice. They wanted their cat. They love this cat. And I can understand that. I just think it's an impossible position that they're in. I think the only thing they could have done to get their story to the new owner of Simba is to go on the news and plead their case. And I really think that that's all that clip was about. It wasn't a complaint about the SPCA because the SPCA did everything right. I think it was just a call into the wind, hoping that Simba's new owners hear it, feel sympathy, and give the cat back.
Right. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because I did, my spidey sense for sketchiness was tingling.
It tingled a bit?
Yeah,
you
my
gotta
Black
trust that.
Widow spider sense for sketchiness.
Yeah, I got a hint of that. But what do you like if you were the new owner of a cat, if you went to the SPCA and you adopted an adult cat and then this news clip comes on, how do you feel?
Well, I would be concerned because I would be listening to these people and thinking, are they sketchy? Like, should I give them their cat back? They look like they really care about the cat, but
it's not their cat. Like, because at this point, in the eyes of the law, everything was done right, so it's your cat.
But in the eyes of the cat, where does the cat want to go? So maybe the best thing to do here is to set up a meeting. You have the cat in a kennel, say, a little kennel.
Well, the SPCA could be the venue for this.
I doubt they would want to put their hands on this idea, but if they would, great. But they could do it themselves and have the news show up to film it. And so they put the cat, the two couples, the new owners and the old owners, stand equal distance away from the carrier. And then an independent third party opens up the carrier. Whoever the cat goes to first is the rightful owners of the cat.
I think that would be a great way to handle this.
I think so too. I think it's the only fair way. The cat has been given no opinion or choice here in the matter. The cat is just kind of being shuffled around, and maybe the cat really likes their new home and is like, this place is sweet. The walls are in great shape, and yeah, I like it here.
I think it would be interesting. It would definitely make for some great TV if they agreed to that. But I really don't know how to handle this. I think I've referred to it as an impossible situation. I think it's in a situation that it's not going to end in everybody being happy. Is this a good cautionary tale? Like if Ken, I know Ken has gotten out a few times. Have you ever, like, would you ever be in a situation where it goes this far?
There was only, I think, once that he got out, like without, you know, an unauthorized outing. And it was only for about 2 minutes, and then he ran back in. And that's the only time it ever happened. And that was when I first got him.
Ken is not adventurous. He's, don't ever let me out there again.
He does get overwhelmed by the outside for sure, but he likes it indoors. I mean, he would love it out there if he got used to it, but he's just never spent enough time outside. So
yeah, I guess the cautionary tale, I think, is this is a great ad for microchipping or even having a collar with a phone number on your cat if there's a situation where it can get outside. Yeah, but then again, I don't have my dog, my sweet girl Penny. I don't have her microchipped, so I should look into that. But the thing is she doesn't leave my side. Like if I go to the bathroom, she sits outside the door. What I like, a fun thing that happens with Penny, it's not fun actually, it kind of terrorizes her. She gets really tired around 9 o'clock. She's like, wherever she goes after 9, she just lays down and falls right asleep. But she can't not follow me. So at about 9 o'clock, I go into the basement where my TV is. She just like shuffles down the stairs, jumps up on the couch and lays down, falls asleep. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to go grab, a snack from the fridge. So I go upstairs to grab something. And I hear her just shuffling up the stairs, and she just has this look in her face like, please just go to bed.
Please stop moving.
And in my house, like I'm always up and down the stairs, and it kills the poor girl. But anyway, all that to say, let's take our second and final break. I've teased this already. We have a duo, if not a trio, of stories that I think are really going to showcase how bad the world has gotten and how far society has collapsed over the last 5 or 10 years. We got some weird news stories coming from Canada that's maybe not what it used to be. After this short break. Handsome Aaron Airport. The world has gotten bad in so many ways. We have teenagers running wild, animals taking over the world, stuff that breaks and you can't fix it. But also, a lot of the stuff we buy and is marketed to us is absolute crap that we've been misled into buying. And that's what we're going to talk about here. 2 Ontario women are going public after buying clothes from online ads that looked like great deals. But in the end, what arrived looked nothing like the photos of what they thought they were buying. It should all be a surprise to no one. But here's some consumer complaints about cheap crap being shipped to Canada from China.
It just feels like a big sleeping bag.
Stephanie Lafleur of Milton was online when she noticed an ad for a coat. She clicked on the link and saw it was 42% off, so she bought it for $117. When it showed up, it wasn't like the coat in the photo and was 4 sizes too small.
It was nothing like the jacket that was advertised. I did do some measurements. They were off by about 14 inches.
The store she ordered it from was called El Toronto, so she thought it was a local purchase. But instead it came from China, which is where she'll have to ship it to if she wants a refund.
To return it, I would have to pay for the shipping to send it back to China, which I imagine would be about the same cost as the jacket.
It's just terrible quality.
Andrea Nash of Vaughan saw an ad for a summer party dress. She paid $85 for the outfit, but says when it showed up, it was nothing like the dress in the advertisement.
The dress that they sent me barely resembled the one in the images.
When she asked for a refund, she was also told she would have to ship the dress to China at her expense.
You're responsible for the shipping, and you have to send it back to our warehouse in China.
Unfortunately, the situation is far too common right now.
Retail analyst Bruce Winder says the best way to avoid disappointment when shopping online is to stick with brands you already know and trust. In the case of Lafleur's coat, CTV News reached out to El Toronto and the company said, "We're here to help resolve the issue. We'll review the details." Days later, Lafleur got a refund and she got to keep the coat, which is now a bed for her cat.
I really appreciate you guys helping me out with this jacket, and I'm so happy to get that money back. Thank you so much.
I'm almost surprised they even put this on the news. I think, like, doesn't everyone know that when you see these random, like, buy it now or it's going to go out of stock and it's 1,000,000% off and it's coming from China, it just shows up and it's crap. Like, everyone knows that. When you buy that stuff, aren't you expecting, like, it's like a roll of the dice?
Yeah, this is one of those, and we have these every now and then, where you just scratch your head wondering, why did the news cover this?
I think like what would have been the more interesting story is all this stuff was sold, at least to the one girl whose coat looked like a sleeping bag and is now a bed for her cat, and she got her $117 back after going on the news. At least in her case, it seems like she thought she was buying it from like a store in Toronto, something called L Toronto. What I don't understand is that a real store, or is it just like a fake website that really you're just buying stuff from, from Temu or whatever, but you're led to believe that it's coming from a store in Toronto? Because I looked up L Toronto and I couldn't find like a website or a location. I found a lot of businesses with similar names, which is maybe why it was chosen.
Yeah, maybe. I've never heard of it, and I'm sure it doesn't exist, and I'm sure everything about these transactions and these products and the entire process is fake and just selling you crap. And but this has been going on since the dawn of time. Why?
Or not really, just the last,
well,
this
last
whole like
20 years or
yeah. But it's really ramped up lately though. Like sites like Temu and AliExpress and Shein, I think, is another one.
Yeah.
Where you're just buying like super cheap stuff and it shows up and it looks nothing like the picture, but it's so cheap that people just kind of put up with it.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to purchase my clothes secondhand. And that's how I buy cheap clothes, like at thrift stores. Like that's the best way to do it. Ordering these cheap clothes online, like this is a situation where I'm like, you kind of deserve it when it shows up and it's crappy.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't the wrong size and fit weird or whatever, once you wash it once, it's going to be crap anyway. It's going to be ruined because it's made with the cheapest materials, of course. But you're advocating for thrift store shopping. I'm advocating for like so many of my clothes. We're the worst two people to give this kind of like to have opinions on this stuff. So many of my clothes are literally like 20 years old. So my stuff is like I take really good care of my clothes, and because of that, it lasts forever.
Yeah. Well, what's a clothing tip that you have for listeners to be able to take as good of care of their clothes as you do?
My tips would be I hang stuff up a lot, and I like to fold it properly. Like I really like take care with how I fold my clothes and I get all the wrinkles out. Those are probably my best tips, especially with t-shirts.
I do the same. I hang all of my clothes. And all my t-shirts I hang, my pants, my regular shirts. The only thing I fold are my socks and my underwear.
Oh, really? Okay. If everything's hung up, it's less likely as well for like some shirt to get to the back of the drawer and get all like just buried and funky over time and stuff. I like having everything hung up. The only thing I'll fold usually, like I'll have socks and underwear put away in a drawer. Shirts that I call like my comfortable t-shirts, which are the ones I would wear to bed or under hoodies and stuff. Those I'll fold and put in a drawer on occasion, but I only have a few of them. And that's another thing is like I know everyone's different about this, but I try not to have a ton of clothes. I like to just have the stuff I like rather than a whole closet and drawer of nonsense.
I do have too many clothes because I do like going to thrift shops and buying clothes. But I've got another really good tip for people who wear t-shirts.
We're on the edge of our seats here.
Yeah. So wear regular deodorant and not antiperspirant.
Oh, yeah. That's a great tip because the antiperspirant has whatever in it. I think it's like aluminum or something. And that's what gives like your shirts that weird stains and stuff in the underarms. Regular deodorant doesn't do that.
No, that's right. And especially like if you're wearing like a white powdery antiperspirant.
Do you want to call out any brands? Like, is there any brand specifically we should avoid?
Every brand has their own version of antiperspirant that is white powdery antiperspirant. And it just leaves these, if you sweat, it leaves these stains, especially if you have black t-shirts. And then when I made the switch to deodorant, like just regular deodorant, man, my t-shirts are great now. They're in great shape. I don't have to worry about it.
That's a great tip, Aaron.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the next story that shows how far we've climbed down the toilet bowl that is life in 2026. We just heard about how everything that you can buy online, we just heard about how much of the stuff you can buy online is crap that you're misled into thinking is good. Now let's move over to the story of shopping in person, specifically stealing and theft and security, and how crazy that has all gotten. A new convenience store just opened in downtown Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and it's getting a lot of attention for its unusual layout. Shoppers enter a lobby that's surrounded by glass, and staff serve them through a window. It's an extreme approach to preventing theft, keeping prices affordable, and keeping employees safe. But it also makes it that everything is locked up and you can't touch anything. Here's the story of the store with everything locked up.
The owners of the recently opened Up North convenience store call their business layout Detroit style. Local teachers Andrea and Serge Pietramali spent $20,000 on barriers separating customers from the products they wish to purchase.
By having everything behind glass, it reduces the theft, and then we can lower our prices because we don't have to jack up the prices to make up for stolen beer, stolen bread, or whatever.
It's definitely very safe because anybody who walks in here, their only purpose is going to be to buy something. It's not going to be to steal or to, you know what I mean, to loiter or to see what they can get away with. They don't have that option.
The building had previously housed chain convenience stores that Pietramali was told lost thousands every month due to shoplifting. While the glass addresses theft and safety concerns, it also builds relationships by forcing an interaction between customers and staff.
Over there. Hey. You're going around, you're picking all the stuff that you want, and then you go to pay, you tap. You don't have to speak to anyone. Here, we have to get the product for you. So you need to talk to us, and then we can go and grab everything that you want.
Until Up North's opening this month, locals say the area had become a food desert. They told me it's been a long time since they've had, quote, anything but problems in the area, and they're unbothered by the unique layout of the new convenience store.
If they're safe, that means they'll be here longer. And that means lots to us. We don't want to see a fly-by-night. We want to see a community rebuilt again.
The new owners say they are continually adding to their stock and use community suggestions to guide the products they bring in.
It's interesting. I've never shopped in a convenience store like that. Of course, I've seen like the high theft items be put behind the counter and stuff, but this has everything behind glass. You walk in, you're in a lobby, and you can look at the products, and the staff pass it to you when you want it. And, you know, again, forcing you to interact with them.
Yeah, I like this idea. I like the concept. It's the only downfall of this concept, though, is when I go into a convenience store, I like to browse. And I'm like, I want something, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. And it would certainly tie things up and slow things down if you were standing at the counter. I mean, like, what chips do you have? Oh, we got Ringolos. We have these different flavors of Doritos, and we have this and that. And
But in this store, you can see all that stuff. They'd be just look
well,
right
not
there.
all
It's just
of
in the
it.
glass.
It looked like the chips were like around the corner. Like it was kind of like you could see a lot of the things, but you couldn't see everything.
Well, maybe they could have catalogs or something up front. Kind of like there's a store, this may not resonate with everybody, but there was a store when I was growing up and when you were growing up, Aaron, called Consumers Distributors. And it was like a big box store, like a Walmart or something. But the way it would work is you would go in and you were in a lobby and there was all these catalogs and you would flip through the catalog that had everything they sold. And then you had a little piece of paper with a pencil and you would write down like the item numbers for what you want. You bring it up to this kind of customer service person, and then they have the people in the back. There was a big warehouse in the back, and they bring out your products. Like, I remember getting lots of stuff.
Sears was like that.
But at Sears, you could still like cruise around the store and see it.
They
right?
had some things, but but generally you would go in and you'd order it in the way that you described.
So eloquently.
So perfectly.
So this is like the convenience store version of that. But it's really seeming like theft and the prevention of theft is starting to really get in the way of the retail experience that we're used to. Things like private security in stores, every dollar store, and even thrift stores now, I've seen them at Value Village, have like these security guards just like roaming around. So that's one thing. And then the glass barriers and stuff, or the removal of self-checkouts. It was only a few years ago all these stores were putting in self-checkouts. Now they're going around and removing them. They've put up plexiglass to make it so that if you want to get out, you have to walk through this weird little corridor and walk past the workers. So that way, if you want to steal, I think you really need to be brazen. This whole thing that this store in Sault Ste. Marie's, what they're doing and this approach is just the next level in that. It's like you can't even touch it till you pay for it.
Yeah, I think overall the idea is good. And the way their store was set up, it did look nice. Like it wasn't threatening in any way. And I imagine that it's great as an employee of that store to feel confident that you're not going to get hurt or robbed at work, right?
Or have to deal with the lunatic who's grabbing stuff and running off. And what you described earlier, one kind of negative thing you said about this was you like to go in a store and roam around. If I'm the employee, I don't want handsome Aaron Airport coming here and roaming around touching my chips.
No.
Get in, get your chips, and get out.
I want to roam around just to see what you have. And sometimes I want to pick up a bag of chips and give it a little shake to see what, is it more air than chips? I want to kind of, and I do like to wander around the store and look at the different candy bars and look at all the different drinks, and it's an experience. It is. This creates a different experience.
This is more of like a necessity thing. Like if there's something you want or need, you go in and grab it. If you want to roam around and look at the new products and shake the bags to see how much air's in them, maybe this store isn't for you.
The store, I think could still service me in other ways. I'll go there. Okay. If it was near me, I would.
Yeah, I would too. But it feels a lot like a bank more than a store. Like you go in and there's a teller and you tell them what you want, and they, like through a little window get it and stuff. It seems more like a banking experience.
You tell them you want money, yeah. But I saw that they were serving hot dogs there in the news clip. You could see that they were serving hot dogs through the window. And I was like, oh, I'd go there for a dog.
Speaking of dogs, that's going to be a great segue to our next story. Not so much dogs, but hamburgers. And they're kind of like...
they're peas and carrots.
Yeah. We don't get political often here on Keep Canada Weird, but every so often a political story pulls us in. And this week we have one. It's going to be a great way to wrap up the show because I think this is a story that may make us both laugh a bit. There's something in Ontario. It's called Ford Fest. It's a community barbecue hosted by Ontario's Premier, Doug Ford, and the Progressive Conservative Party he runs for or is connected to. Originally, it started as a backyard party in the Ford family home. It features free food, live music, and family entertainment. But it functions more so as a massive campaign political rally. This year, it got ugly. We could call it like the Ford Fire Fest because it was a significant number of the attendees this year were protesters. I guess what's happened, I don't know a lot about the politics of it, but Doug Ford and the Progressive Conservative Party are in the middle of a contract dispute / battle with the Ontario Public Service Employees Union. Their members showed up at the Ford Fest all dressed in these purple shirts to protest, some kind of dispute that they have with him. I don't know a lot about it, and it's not, Keep Canada Weird's not the place to get into it. But it has left with Doug Ford in the news, complaining about the protesters showing up at his event. Can I just play the clip?
No, please.
I love this clip. You sent me this one. This story comes straight from Handsome Aaron Airport, and I know what you love about it. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
Am I disappointed that, they dropped off 4 busloads of protesters and and were very vulgar language, using the F word every 10 seconds in front of little kids and family, intimidate thousands of our supporters. And then the best of all, they ate the hamburgers and ate the ice cream while they were protesting. So, yeah, I'm disappointed that they came in and used vulgar language and tried to disrupt it. But they were there for about an hour, and then they left, and everyone had a great time. And it's just disappointing they'd use those tactics.
Something about the way he drops that.
Yeah, they ate the ice cream and the hamburgers. It's just he was so deflated over it.
He loves ice cream because we've had him on the show. We've played clips with him on the show before. There was some ice cream company he was so happy with. But yeah, he did seem deflated and really hurt that not only would they curse in front of the kids and show up in busloads, they ate the hamburgers, they ate the ice cream.
They ate the hamburgers and they ate the ice cream.
Yeah, and he said it almost as if that takes away from their cause. Like, these protesters shut up here. They did this horrible stuff, and they're hypocrites. They ate the ice cream and the hamburgers. Why wouldn't they?
Of course, it's a barbecue. It would be weird if they didn't, right? But that's the thing. This shows that he has a line. You can call him names. You can disagree with his politics, but you don't eat his hamburgers and his ice cream. But I have a great suggestion for him for his next barbecue.
What?
Have the hamburgers and the ice cream behind plastic clear walls.
Ooh,
Detroit style barbecue. And you have to go up to the window to order your hamburger and your ice cream.
So we've been through a lot, Aaron. We heard some interesting legal battles. We've witnessed the crumbling of society. We even got a little political, which is new for us. Is there anything left for us to do, or did we accomplish our goal to keep Canada weird for our 219th time?
I think so. Metaphorically, we ate the hamburgers, we ate the ice cream. Now let's take it home.
You even plugged your event, and I'll have links in the episode's description for your show.
That's right.
But while I'm thinking about how I'm going to word those links, let's put a bow on this. Handsome Aaron Airport, until next time.
Jordan, bus stop, backhoe, numbers, hamburgers, ice cream, Bonaparte.
I feel a little bad about some of the things I said about that dancing guy in Alberta. I shouldn't have been so quick to be like, oh, this guy's not a great dancer. Because honestly, if he's on one side of the street and I'm on the other side of the street and we're both dancing, I think he's going to get more honks and fist pumps than I would.
Yeah, and Jordan, until next time, I agree with you. He is definitely a better dancer than you. And I will ask you this. If I reach a point in my life where I'm alone dancing on the street, will you support me or will you have me charged?
Should I be concerned if I see this?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be, because I'd be in true freedom. The shackles would be loose. I would be completely, enjoying life in its fullest and grandest.
I want to thank you for helping Aaron and I fulfill our mission to keep Canada weird. Now, if any one of you listening want to get more involved in what we're doing, we need all the correspondence we can get. So if something weird happens in your area, or if you have any thoughts on anything we discussed tonight, let us know about it. The best way to reach us is by using the voice recorder that can be found at thecanadiangothic.com/contact. Now, I'm going to start wrapping up the episode, but before we part, let us thank a few people. First of all, Aaron and I want to give a big thank you to all the correspondents who contributed to this episode. If your voice message was aired on the show, go back to thecanadiangothic.com/contact and fill out the form to claim your swag pack and Keep Canada Weird badge. We'll happily get it right out to you. Next, a big shout out to Unicole for the intro and outro voiceovers, and Monty Data, who provides the outro version of O Canada that you're about to hear. And then lastly, but most importantly, we have a massive thank you to every one of you listening, as without your interest and your support, this work would be impossible. And for any one of you out there who want to support the show financially and get more out of the show at the same time, please consider the premium feed. Our premium feed subscription costs just a couple bucks a month, and that money will fund the creation of new episodes. But the premium feed will also give you those episodes early, give them to you ad-free, and give you access to a full back catalog of Keep Canada Weird episodes and bonuses. You can go premium at thecanadiangothic.com/subscribe. And even if the premium feed isn't for you, you can still support the show by simply sharing episodes on social media. That's free, and it's a big help. So until next time, take care of each other, hug your loved ones tight, and please keep Canada weird.
And keep Canada weird. Please keep Canada weird.
And now to our viewers and listeners everywhere. Good night.
Hi, I think that we need to go back to the segment about hanging up the phone in a very intentional way, because you were right. That is very unsatisfactory to just hit the thing. I do have this rotary phone that, in addition to the special drink segment, I would like to recommend this. The aggressive rotary phone.
Hi guys, I have two weird facts but also fun. So, did you know that back in the day, in the first 100 years of time, most people had orchards? Isn't that awesome? There was also, the beaches were rocky and had lots of logs. They had barely any docks, and seaweed grows under docks. Aren't those so cool facts? Oh, my name's Maya. So my brother Louie and me just want to say a few facts. I'm 7 and he's 5. So, did you know Canada was the second largest country